out! It's Kong! Kong's coming!
Kong, the giant ape, the eighth wonder of the world. He's been ingrained in our culture for almost 100 years. The Beauty and the Beast story, a story that has been told through millennia. The myth of a creature, yet there's something behind its eyes that make it more human than one would think. That is Kong. King Kong. Oh my god. Before I even get into Skull Island, let's talk about how Kong got his start. Kong first appeared in 1933 in a novelization of the critically acclaimed film King Kong, which came out 2 months after the book. Now that's good marketing if you ask me. King Kong was directed by Marion C. Cooper. Cooper was an American aviator, United States Air Force and Polish Air Force officer, adventurer, screenwriter, film director, and producer. You know, that whole biplane scene is kind of making a lot of sense given the Air Force background. I've never really known that until I started researching for this video. Many could argue Cooper is one of the main proponents that threw films into the limelight. He made the classic monster movie, which would later influence so many others. King Kong would be the most talked about thing in the 1930s, receiving many awards, fucking Oscars, fucking Monkey Awards, fucking... He's a king. Give him a crown or something. Kong was a box office success, making about $5 million worldwide on its initial release. Yeah, I know what you're thinking, like, that's not really a lot compared to today, but inflation, people. Fucking 90 years ago. Google it. The critical response still holds today, with it sitting at 98% on Rotten Tomatoes and on Metacritic with a 9100. And I know, like, how much do those fucking websites even matter, really? Like, seriously. It's all fucking subjective. There's no question why King Kong tells a never-aging story of adventure, love, mystery, and myth. Kong pushed the boundaries of storytelling and special effects. Like, this probably blew people's minds. Like, check out this fucking clip. Like, what? People, I know, like, compared to today, we have Saw, fucking Friday the 13th, whatever. But back then, dude, people, this is people back then. Is that shit real? Now let's kind of break down King Kong 1933, because it's kind of essential to breaking down what Kong Skull Island is. In 1933, the bold and successful filmmaker Carl Denham travels by ship with a large crew, his friend Jack Driscoll, and the starlet Ann Darrow. Also, Fay Wray, you know, very, very popular back in the day. The whole crew end up going to this island because Carl Denham, he wants to make a damn movie, alright? And when they get there, the local natives worship a huge gorilla. They find that out. They figure his name is Kong. The freaking natives are ducked in. They offer her as a sacrifice to the huge gorilla god. Jack Driscoll, who's in love with her. Carl Denham, who aims to capture the animal for exhibition in New York. They go into the jungle where all the evil monsters, dinosaurs live, trying to rescue Anne. King Kong falls in love with Anne and protects her against the dangers. But he ends up getting caught. And they end up bringing him to New York, blah, 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 in the middle of the show. When, Kong, the great eighth wonder! And he escapes, as you know he does, blah, 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 bring panic to the Big Apple. And that's pretty much Kong in 1933. I didn't do it that much justice, but it's damn good, alright? It set motion for fucking everything. Everything in movies right now is because of Kong. And maybe Citizen's Kane, but it's close, you know? This version of the story would be changed and altered in many ways, and even completely remade by the great Peter Jackson. He's made a couple small films. You know, you might know him. Each version has its own merit, from the 30s to the 70s to Peter Jackson's. Every installment has kept one thing intact though. Kong. In every movie you feel Kong's intentions, his wants, his regrets, his emotion. I think that's why I love these movies so much as well. The damn ape, Kong. So this is where we get into the good details of one of my favorite fucking movies, man. Kong Skull Island. Kong Skull Island was directed by Jordan Vogt Roberts, and it is the second movie introduced into the Legendary's Monsterverse. It's been over 10 years since the last Kong film. I don't even know where to begin with all this, cause like, just letting you know, a lot of this is just gonna be me rambling. I sort of have it paragraphed out, and kind of like grouped, but I'm not the best at these little video essays, so let's just get right into it, alright? Legendary and Jordan Vogt Roberts had a big job on their hands. How do you reboot such an iconic character while staying with the things that made the character as iconic as he is? Giant Ape? Check. Creepy Island? Check. Beauty and the Beast? Check. Wait. No Beauty? Mr. Vogt Roberts? We're missing a lot what makes Kong King Kong. Or Kong the King. Or King Kong and the King Kong and the Kong King. What makes Kong King, alright? A lot of people said, and still some say about Skull Island, that it's not Kong, it's not King Kong, blah 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 blah. Wait one damn second. I show you why all those fake motherfuckers are damn wrong about it, alright? I'm gonna show you. Now, when Legendary set off to create the Monsterverse, they had to spearhead it with the monster of all monsters, Godzilla. Man, I'm such a fucking loser. Godzilla is one of the most iconic, recognizable pop culture icons of all time. Fuck the MCU, Goji has been at it for decades. So Legendary decided, hey, let's make a Godzilla movie for the US, since last time it worked out so good. It was good. right? This is good. Yeah, he's a T-Rex. Oh my god, fucking Jurassic Park just released the fucking goddamn. A lot of people had a bunch to say about this film. Good, bad, negative, positive. Just like every movie, this one seems a little different. Very polarizing. Some hate it, some love it. I personally, I like it, but I can also see why people don't like it. Because, I'll touch on this in a little bit, but like, Hollywood just likes to put humans, man. They just like humans that don't. They just don't fucking care. I don't care about them. You don't care about them. It's whatever. I know. What does this have to do with Kong? I'm getting to it, alright? This is world building. I'm world building here. Godzilla 2014 is essential to Kong Skull Island. It shapes how Kong is presented in this world. Let's face it, this is what it was all leading up to. Godzilla vs. Kong. And you know what the fuck? It looks so damn good, man. Looking good. That's kind of why I'm making this video. There were a lot of doubters before Kong Skull Island if Kong would be strong enough to even stand a chance against the big monster Godzilla. So, let's figure it out if they did it. Skull Island opens with one of my favorite opening scenes of all time. Overlooked at first glance. You're going to hear me say this a lot during this, but it's true. The movie is one of the most anime/manga influenced films I've ever watched, and I love it. Just take a look at it. It's cinematography at its best. This is also where we got our first look at Kong, kinda, sorta. And then the whole intro after that, it's like a mockumentary style opening which uses stock footage, which intuitively leads into actual movie footage, leading to a great line by John Goodman.
Committee hearings to a standstill, promising more gridlock in the days and weeks ahead. The Beltway is experiencing significant delays.
Mark my words. There'll never be a more screwed up time in Washington.
Bill Randa, head of the US government organization Monarch. Ring any bells? Maybe? No. Randa has dedicated his life to proving that monsters exist and that it's not some crackpot idea after, I think, like one of his ships were attacked by Godzilla or something, and he saw him and no one believed him, blah 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 blah. This film takes place during 1973, amidst the turmoil that was the Vietnam War. Also during this time, the US has started the Landsat program, mapping out the globe, which inevitably leads to Randa finding Skull Island. I love how everything makes sense. Well, as much as it can in a monster movie. They kind of use real life stuff to kind of make it realistic. Like, the Landsat program is real. That shit was going on. And they're like, well, I mean, that's probably how we would find a weird island that no one knew about. In this intro little segment, this is where we start getting a glimpse of what this movie's all about. Also, sorta. It changes multiple times. You can call this a comedy, a comedy action, a little horror up in there just a little bit. Jordan Vogt-Roberts has stated that this was a huge point he tried to make, that by the end of the movie it would feel like a whole different film. But this is a nice little header to get it all started, you know. Get you into the world, make you a little chuckle a little bit. Randa breaks down that him and his partner Houston Brooks, author of the Hollow Earth theory, have discovered a mysterious, spooky island while using the Landsat program. They tell Richard Jenkins that the US needs to be the first to discover the island. That quickly changes his mind about them being crazy. Yeah, sketchy shit is going down for sure. I'm not gonna break down every scene for scene, but this intro is so dope I wanted to show it off a little bit. I want to break down every character in the movie, but I just don't know if I'm going to be able to articulate it enough to break it all down, because like this is like my third video essay, so I don't even know if I'm that good yet. But so I'm gonna hit the mains. We kind of touched on Randa, John Goodman, and Brooks, Corey Hawkins. So you know they're Monarch guys, you know. Yeah, you feel me. We got Samuel motherfucking Jackson as Colonel Packard, who after the war feels like he has no purpose. So when he gets the call for him and his men to serve as escorts on one last job, he bites. Now right here, I want to talk about the beauty of the cinematography. The way it shows Packard's uneasiness with the time lapse and him not moving, and the whole phone booth scene just looks beautiful and sci-fi-ish. There's like a behind the commentary scene where like Jordan Vogt-Roberts talks about, you see those 3 lines, like those are just weird lights they put there that doesn't make any sense, but they thought it was trippy, so they put it in. The lighting, mwah, the camera movement, mwah, the dialogue, mwah. Another beautiful section. The whole movie is filled with great shots and extraordinary lighting. It can kind of make other movies suck in comparison. It makes everything look boring and everything shot in that same way, all flat. I know. Once again, where's Kong? I'm getting there, man. The story of Kong is also about the humans. As much as I hate to say it, but it's true. I know people want to see monster fights. Yeah, me too, but that's not what we get. Hollywood always thinks there needs to be a human connection for relatability purposes or exposition dumps, because the suits think audiences can't understand if there is no dialogue. Even Toho does this with the Godzilla films. For proof that you can make entertainment with no dialogue, check out Primal by Genndy Tartakovsky. So good, man. You might know him, Samurai Jack, blah blah blah. He also did Hotel Transylvania. Wait, what? Yeah, okay. I'm explaining that because a lot of people got upset with 2014's Godzilla because it would tease you with the monsters and then cut to more human drama, military stuff, blah blah. I don't really have a stance on it. It just depends on how it's done. I think Godzilla did it well, but I just didn't care about the humans enough to be engaged, except for Bryan Cranston. But yeah, you know how that turned out. But Kong Skull Island, Jordan tries to do something different. Make a bombastic monster movie during the day, some at night, but mostly day. Another problem people have had with the US Godzilla films is every fight is at night. I love the films, but I'm so sick of it being at night. That's why I love this movie. During the day, in your face, focus on the fights, keeps you engaged, action, comedy, we're busting up, monsters, dude. When Kong and the Skullcrawler fight, you see it, the whole thing. Okay, back to what I was doing before I went on this whole tangent of Hollywood and blah blah. We got Weaver, Brie Larson, the Beauty, and once again, sorta. Not the way you would think, not at all. More on that when we break down Kong as a character. She's a war photographer. Oh, my bad. Anti-war photographer. Her character is what you think she is. Your typical anti-war 70s chick. Not an insult, it's just true. We got Tom Hiddleston, Nathan Drake, Captain James Conrad, Hollywood action guy. Sorta. That's not a knock. I think Vogt Roberts wanted it that way, kinda. They fleshed him out a little bit with his father being in World War II, and how no one comes home from war, yada yada. Honestly, I actually love that quote.
I suppose no man comes home from war. Not really.
It hits the spine just a little bit. Ultimately, my opinion is biased. I just want to see Kong, but the movie knows this. A big criticism of the movie was that there was a lack of character development, which I can agree to an extent, but I think there's an intention for it. The director knew this is a monster movie, and it shows. The characters don't have a big revelation of redemptions like most AAA movies. This movie doesn't care about humans, and I mean that in a good way. There aren't many good outcomes for the humans. Their actions are useless. Nature will always win.
Come on, son of a bitch.
I forgot to even mention, there are also a bunch of soldier characters in the movie, but I'm not gonna list all of those. I'm gonna list 3 of the main characters that are soldiers, if you can even call them that. I don't know if they're main characters. There's a lot of characters, alright? Some say too much. I kind of agree on some point, but alright. We got Jason Mitchell as Mills. We got Jason Mitchell as Mills, Shea Windham as Cole, Toby Kebbell as Jack Chapman, and he also did the freaking the mocap for Kong. It's a little fun fact for you. And it's not the first time he was a monkey, actually. He also mocapped for Planet of the Apes movies. That's a little side piece you get from this. Mills and Cole are your typical soldier buddies. Mills, the young, hopeful-minded soldier, and Cole, the cynical veteran, always thinking logically.
That primate again. You do know that story is about a mouse becoming friends with the lion after taking the thorn out of his paw, right?
No, it's not. The mouse kills the lion with the thorn.
Who told you that, Cole?
My mother.
Then we got Chapman, who really has his own movie in this. It ends up getting cast off by himself during the visit to Skull Island. He's your typical soldier. Deja vu. In the beginning, he is seen writing a letter to his son, and you know what the hell is going to happen to this guy. And then, last human character that I feel is most important to the story is your boy, my boy, Hank Marlowe. John C. Reilly. And if you know John C. Reilly, you know his character in this. It's pretty spot on, really. It's most John C. Reilly, you know. You might recognize him from the intro clip, but probably not, because it's a different actor, you know. Time. Hank is definitely the best human character in this. He pretty much acts the most realistic.
Did I crack? They never smile.
Did you crash here?
Oh, sorry, miss. Lieutenant Hank Marlowe of the 45th. Put the old flight suit on for you.
You are more beautiful than a hot dog and a beer at Wrigley Field on opening day.
Now the moment that you've probably been waiting for this whole time, listening to me ramble about other characters, Kong. I don't even know where to begin with it. He's Kong. It's weird, even though none of the King Kong movies are connected, except for any sequels of each standalone, which most of the times those are alright, you know. But you know what I mean. Though they aren't connected, each Kong still feels so similar. When you see him, you instantly feel that this is Kong. Now with that said, what makes Kong Kong? Misunderstanding. That's what makes him. Packard is the best perspective for this. In his eyes, Kong is a monster who killed his men. But let me play this clip.
Why I carry this instead of an M16? Took it off a farmer fighting for the NVA. He surrendered right after we leveled his village. He was 50 years old, said he never even seen a gun until we showed up. Sometimes an enemy doesn't exist till you go looking for one.
What happens when they show up on your doorstep?
I'll still have his gun.
Best of luck with that, soldier.
Kong has a part on this island, and it is to protect it, to keep it safe. Kong doesn't go looking for harm, but he will cause it if he has to, just like the 1933 version. Now I know in that version he's more monster, he's more like, you kind of, at the beginning, like, oh, this monkey's evil. He's freaking eating people. Which I mean, at the beginning of Skull Island, you also see him do the same thing. Wow, that's kind of coincidental. But in Skull Island, ultimately, he is given more humanity than ever. The humanity is inside of a seeming monstrous creature. Kong is Clint Eastwood. Not the nicest dude, but doing what he's got to do to protect the innocent. It's hard on this island, but Kong is here for a reason. To be king. Something the movie does to spin the Kong formula is the Beauty and the Beast trope. In Kong Skull Island, there is no Kong love story. Yeah, he helps humans out, well, at least the good ones, you know. He ultimately doesn't want to fuck the Beauty, aka Brie Larson, but he does see her have the humanity, as seen in the clip right here. The first time you see this, when Kong is lifting the heli to save the buffalo, or whatever the fuck that thing is, he notices Weaver was trying to help. The acknowledgement says a lot about Kong. This is the Kong we know and love. From 1933 to the 60s to the 70s, Peter Jackson's version, they all have their moments of silence and acknowledgement of a human. Kong knows the symbolic relationship he has with human, which is further expanded on with Godzilla and the King of Monsters. Not with Kong, but these kaijus, they're here for a reason, you know, balance, and all that stuff. And I really suspect it'll be taken even further with Godzilla vs. Kong. Kong is us, and we are Kong. Let me say that with a little bit more emphasis. Kong is us, and we are Kong. Now I'm gonna end this first part here. We broke down the characters. We sort of did a little intro to the movie. We kind of broke down Kong as a character and how he develops a little bit from the old versions to the Kong Skull Island version, and how he's similar. And I was gonna try to like jam pack me breaking down the whole movie, but I'm not that good yet. I'm working on it. I'm just trying to get this out before Godzilla vs. Kong comes out like tomorrow. So just know that. There's another part's on the way. Appreciate you guys watching. Thank you for the community for showing so much love to your boy. Hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button. And you know, Godzilla vs. Kong, baby. Check it out.